Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Noah Zoro. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP08 here on the channel, which I'm very excited to bring to everybody, let alone this is a deck in which we haven't seen much of. In OP06, OP07, Zoro didn't really perform as well as he should have, to be fair. There have been a lot of decks in the format currently, which Zoro can struggle against, such as RP Law, Rob Lucci, Gecko Moria, just to name a few. Now, with the nerfs to Rob Lucci, him losing the stage, for those of you guys that are new around here, for example, Ends Lobby, this was a card in which Rob Lucci utilized pretty much every single game. What this allowed you to do is, you can -1 when Rob Lucci attacks you, and then you can also activate stage to -2. So for free, you're minusing 3 to character on board, or characters that are on board, splitting between. So in other words, Rob Lucci had access to popping numerous bodies each and every turn, which is something that Zoro can't really deal with, especially when this deck can go wide very quickly. You can activate some minus effects and play down Rob Lucci, which, if you guys aren't familiar with what that card is, Rob Lucci plays this down. You kill 2 characters of cost 2 and 1 or less on board. So again, if you play down multiple bodies, your opponent activates Rob Lucci, you're in a tight spot. But without the access to stage, this deck has to dig a little bit deeper to remove a lot of stuff on board. Without RP Law, for example, a lot of other decks come into the format, be it Zoro, a lot of other decks such as Marco and OP08, and even older decks in the current format, such as Katakuri, Enel, and newer decks such as Pudding, older decks such as Crocodile. A lot of decks just do so much better now that stage is gone, now that RP Law is gone. But what does this mean for Zoro? Well, back in the day when Katakuri, Enel, Sakazuki ran rampant, Zoro often checked yellow decks, meaning this deck also did really well into decks like Katakuri and Enel. With Katakuri coming back into the format, why can't Zoro be back in the format? Why can't this deck do well? We're going to find out in OP08, because we have been indirectly buffed with a bunch of new cards from Drum Kingdom and from Animals. Zoro has the opportunity now of playing a bunch of animal cards and going wide on board very, very quickly, very early into the game. Hypothetically speaking, on your if you go first and you're going into your 3-Don play, you have an opportunity of playing down a Chopper. That gets down a Komochio here. That's 2 bodies on board with a swing from leader. Into the following turn, that's 3 swings already, which is very, very fast. Now, you may have realized that we aren't running Buggy here in this list, in which previously, Zoro decks often ran a mixture of these 1-drops. Every list was pretty much running something of these natures here when it came to 1-drops in the deck. We are not utilizing Buggy for for 2 reasons actually, 2 reasons only. He's not an animal, and let alone, he is an animal, but you know what I'm saying. But we aren't using a lot of events, especially in this build here. This list in itself does not run a lot of events, therefore Buggy's not going to get a lot of value. The only events that we are running are going to be 4 of these, which came out in EB01, and then 2 Diable Jambes. So we have to utilize another 1-drop here, such as Komochio or Karu. And Karu and Komochio are both older cards that everyone can easily have access to. Both of these are animals, in which the animals will play a big role in this deck due to the fact that they can be cheated out with Chopper. You play down Chopper, you play down an animal with 3,000 power or less on the field for free, or if you play down this Chopper, you have the ability to search the top 5 cards of your deck, right? You find an animal card that's 4,000 power or less played on the field for free. So that can be something like Hiking Bear. You can play down a Chopper blocker, you can play down Komochio, you can even play down this Chopper, and then this Chopper can play down a Komochio, which is really, really nice. Now keep in mind, you can do this each and every turn. This card attacks, which is pretty solid. But this deck also utilizes a lot of 2K counters that have 2 different abilities. So you have the 2K for being the 2K itself, and you have the 2K for having the ability to do something else for you, such as like Makino here and Brook. Both of these have very strong on-play effects or activate mains. Brook allows you to give 2 rested dons to a character of your choosing or leader that's on the field, so you can enable another attack if you need to. Or with Makino, keep in mind we are not running with a lot of 1-drops as we previously were, but we do have access to cards that are searchable, such as Komichio here. So Makino can give the boost to the Nami. She can also give boosts to Komichio. Now, the Nami finds pretty much all the cards in the deck that you need. This will find your Zoros, this will find your Choppers will in turn, this will find your Choppers here. Your Choppers can in turn find your other Choppers and play down other cards for free. This deck is very synergistic, it's very aggressive, it allows you to go wide very quickly, and it's what Zoro wants to do. Now, we also have access to Dragon, Silver Rayleigh here, and Doctor. Doctor and Rayleigh come out of OP08. Doctor searches, just like Nami does, but Nami searches top 5, whereas Doctor searches top 4. And she only picks up either a Chopper or a character from the Drum Kingdom. In case of this deck, you're only searching for Choppers, so A, B, and C, or a blocker Chopper if you guys decide to run that in here as well. Your Rayleigh is a newer card you're going to see in OP08. This is going to see play in Zoro, Brook, probably Sabo here and there, but mainly just the 2. This allows you to, on play, minus 3,000 power to something that's currently on board on your opponent's side of the field, and minus 2,000 power to something. Now, what happens is those minus effects will stay in place until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then at the end of the day, once you play this down, this will pop something on board that's 3,000 power or less, just for hitting the field, which is really, really nice. Dragon, the older Zoro list often utilized Newgate, right? Which is a very, very strong card in itself. The downside to it is he's a 9, so often you play him down, right? Then you have no Don to play around with because you want to take that Don and put on Zoro. That way Zoro can boost everything else on board. Then you have 0 Don. So then you can't play any of your events such as Guard Point or Radical Beam. With the inclusion of Monkey D. Dragon, he's an 8. So you have the option of playing him down, giving 2 rested Don to Zoro, having 2 Don left over to float. This will swing for 10, just base kit, due to Zoro's ability. Along with everything else you have on board also gets boosted. So this makes that pretty much an ideal home for a Zoro list that wants to be aggressive very, very quickly. But overall, we are going to dive into a bunch of games today. This is an aggro list, so these games should go quite fast. But without further ado, let's dive into a bunch of games. And by the way, boys and girls, if you like the video, alright? Let's get these floating around. I'll see you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Zoro playing into Perona. Now, be mindful, I don't know how many games we are going to do today. Again, we're going to be playing with an aggro list, which I hope to get over these games very, very quickly. If not, late game is going to be pretty tough. In any case, we're going to dive into this one here real quick, see what we can cook up here. This is going to be a very, very problematic deck to deal with, I think, just due to the fact that Perona can just rest some of my bodies on board and remove them by attacking into them, or rest them and running brand new into them. But as long as we can overwhelm her with a lot of bodies, she can only use our leader ability on 1 card per turn, so we should be okay. We have a pretty solid hands with the event that allows us to search, for animals here. But often not, I generally forget about it and I never activate it. Don't be me. Pay attention to what cards you have in hand. I'm just saying that ahead of time and watch me miss it anyway. Alright, let's do... We can play this and get Hiking Bear down, which wouldn't be bad because we can get 2 bodies on board, and these bodies come in active, so she can't really kill either one of them with brand new. So let's do it this way. Play Hiking Bear down. We'll lose the Nami. Next turn we can do the exact same thing. I said her hand was pretty good, but it's really not, now that I think about it. Yeah, now that I think about it, it's not that great. We need to draw another animal here. That's 3,000 power or less, so that way we can play Chopper and that card at the same time. Alright. Hey, that works out. I was hoping to play Nami and search for it, but this is nice. Because now we can play down Chopper and another Hiking Bear this turn. Unfortunately, we can only really swing here with Zoro and the other Chopper. I guess we could have taken that Dawn. No. Yeah, this is the only way that we could have done it. Yeah. This way, everything gets 1,000 power, and I can smack her with the chopper, and then she'll rest another character on the next turn and try to kill it that way. But we get 2 attacks in. With the Perona matchups, with Zoro, you kind of just want to go face as quickly as you possibly can. Like, you want to rush this deck down. Because in the late game, they play, like, Sabo, the 8-cost Sabo that allows them to pop bodies on board. They play Gecko Moria. They play cards like Isho, for example. Just to name a few. Doflamingo. So being able to just rush them down before they can make it to late game is ideal here. And they also don't run with a lot of 2K counters. So, often not, it's between like 8 to 10 at most. Now Perona has an option of resting a character and attacking into it. And I feel like we shouldn't let it go. But I don't know if I want to give my whole hand. Because we have access to a searcher, and giving up 2 blockers here might not be the best idea. It's a really tough one, but we have to let it go. It just seems like the right thing to do, right? Baby 5. So this is a Doflamingo variant, which is fine. This doesn't look to be a Wanu version, so... Which is good for us, due to the fact that they have less cards in hand to counter out. They get a blocker in Rosinante, which is nice, but no Dawn to play with it, so... Makino... Let's get the search off. Oh, wow, we actually whiffed that time. That sucks. Hey, man, it happens sometimes, alright? Sometimes it happens. Can't be perfect all the time. But, so, with these hiking bears, be sure to read this. You give up to one character, this animal type character, other than this card itself, 1,000 power. So, you can take this boost, you can give it to the other hiking bear, attach the Dawn, right? Take this boost, give it to the other hiking bear. Isn't that great? 10 out of 10. Now we can swing in for 7Ks on each of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And then 6 on lead. I don't necessarily care about the board state, I just want to go face. I think that one Dawn that's floating up over there was because she had to, and she had nothing else to do with it. So I shouldn't really expect any events here. Go 7 here as well. Again, I don't care about what's on board right now. She took the 7, which means she didn't have counter for it, so can this get through as well? Nice. Okay. We're sitting pretty. We realistically need to find a rush character. So like Dragon, Kid Killer, or Zoro. To pretty much go for game. Because I would think in this scenario, she does have access to Ryuma. Whether she's running it, I don't know, but Ryuma could come down, pop a bear, and then she could kill the other bear with her leader. Yep, there's one. We do have Makino in hand. We have 1 2K counter. Okay, alright, I like it, Being a little, I guess cautious, but I think I would have tried to clear board here. Like you needed to clear board. Because you still have the leader ability available, so you could rest the Nami and then kill the hiking bear. And I'd only have 1 attack, but then you're betting that I don't have a rusher in hand. And if I do, you have the blocker to get around it. If they play it correctly. There's a 10-drop Dofi. We're going to block out, actually. I think I need him to stay alive. Because if I let it go, we have the Makino to boost the Nami. The Nami has less power in general than the bear. By 1. And that 1 probably does matter here. Because I can get 7K out of bear with less Dawn investment than I can on the Nami. It sounds silly, but I think it'll work. Because we know they have a Dofi in hand, and we got in a 6K swing last turn, which means they didn't have counter for that, and they also took the 7K beforehand. Let's do math here. This is already a 4. This will make it a 7. Yeah, okay. This will work. So I can do 7 and 7 with both, and 6 with lead. Or we can go... No, that's 4. Yeah, that's math. So I think we have to get the blocker, yep. because they chose not to block, and we did have Diable Jambe in hand. There's a lot of pressure there. We'll go 6. I think at least one of these attacks will go through. 1, 2K. Just let it happen. Nice. Okay. We're still at 5 life, by the way, so they could take the rest of this game very, very slowly and just focus on blockers and clearing board if they have a hand for it, but it only takes 1 Diable Jambe, Kid Killer, Zoro, or Dragon to go for game. Assuming they don't just put a wall up, right? Because this deck still does have access to the Sabo 5-cost blocker and Borsalinos. We're on the... What, they have 9 Dawn? Math? No, 8 Dawn, sorry. So Gecko Moria could potentially come down here, which in turn could get back a blocker from the trash, being the Rosinante. Yep, cool, cool, cool. You get Rosie, right? Yes. That's 1 blocker we have to deal with. Tashigi, okay. That would have been my second choice, but maybe that's all they had. 1 Dawn open. I would probably attach that to Baby 5 and run Baby 5 into the Nami there, at the very least. This way they can clear my board and possibly do damage to me. Okay, so they're going to go 6k into Bear instead of Baby 5 into the Nami. That's a little weird play, right? I think I would have attached the Dawn to Baby 5 to kill the Nami, and then use the Ryuma or Leader to attack the Bear. Because I think at this point we can just go 10k here with Zoro. We'll force the blocker. 10 please. Thank you, game. We'll force the blocker. There's not really a point of playing down the Chopper and the Kilmachio, but we have to play down both. That way we have a body on board for next turn. Because in this case, she can rest one with the Leader, but the other one should be able to stay on board unless she has some sort of removal in hand. Then we have 1 Dawn active for our event. And hopefully our event gets another body on board. Okay, Doflamingo, interesting. Because now you have no blockers here. That's fine. I feel like that was very, very brave, right? Like, very brave. 9, no problem. No problem. Hey, you got another one of those. If only we had 2 Dawn. Alright, we'll use the ability. I should have used it first, but I didn't think they would just keep attacking, just giving me cards, but, you know, it's fine. Put this on board. No trigger. Makino. I think we can just go game here, right? I could just piece this out and just, you know, go play by play, but I don't think they have enough counter here for 15k, realistically. If they do, I threw the game. But I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have it. They would need 2 0-cost events and everything else in their hand to be 2k counters. Like, realistically. Or they would need all their cards in hand to be a 2k but 1. That way they can land out at 16k counter. Oh, good game. Well played. Let's see if they want to run it back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into it one more time. Do another rematch real quick. I don't often get to play into Corona, so this is just one of those things. It's one of those wild card decks that I often enjoy playing to. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into it one more time against this Corona. This is a deck in which we often don't get to play into, so I'm hoping that she does get a bunch of benefits here for OP08 in the the Minx cards, so this should be something that's pretty spicy that this deck can build in OP08. In any case, let's see what we can cook up here this time around. I get an early game blocker, which, that's a start. 6th lead. I don't know why I said Karina, but whatever, Doctor. That's fine. Our hand's pretty good here, actually. So technically, we could play down Chopper to play down the Hiking Bear here. Just flood the board with bodies. And then I could opt to play Nami, get the search off here. Nami finds me Chopper. We can take this Chopper too, though, right? We don't really need the blocker. I don't see her being aggressive. This way, if she wants to rest something, then kill it. By all means, we have 2 bodies to replace it. 5 Dawn. Alright, you can stop now. Goodness. Going 6, that's fine. Rayleigh is actually pretty useful here. Another Chopper. You know what? It's too late. I probably shouldn't have played that. I mean, we got some pretty decent cards here, but yeah, I probably shouldn't have played that. I messed up. We could take this one to replace, like, the Nami or the Doctor, but there's no point. I should have just donned up and swung that way. And played Zoro instead of him, right? That should have been the move. Because now, in this case, I can't don the Doctor and the Nami. So Zoro would at least got another swing in if I played him down instead of the Chopper here. But it's okay. We tried. That's not math. We need one more don. So Nami can't swing. We get 3 attacks this turn instead of potentially 5 if we didn't play the Chopper. Yep. So I messed it up. That's my bad. I mean, they are at 4 cards in hand, though, so they will have to start blocking soon. At least I hope so. You give me a Rosinante. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that's 1 down. And then we'll have to pass here. So if she wants to clear the 2 rested, then rest something with her leader ability, she can. But I don't see her attacking with the Rosinantes at all. Okay, Sakazuki. So surely she pops the Chopper. The active one, not the rested one. Okay. And what does she trash? She trashed Kuzan, alright. 1 Dawn floats. Goes 6 lead. Wow, okay, we'll take it. It's interesting to see the control deck trying to be aggro, instead of trying to control the board here. I think going to 6k into the Chopper that was rested should have been the correct play. But what do I know? Rayleigh's probably not the ideal move here. It might just be better to get damage in instead. Because we have the Janbei in hand. Let's do this first. 7 Dawn left. Let's go here for 5. If she decides to take these hits and not guard, then she just loses, right? With Diable next turn. We have a little bit of counter. Not much. Just 4k. So we should be alright to at least survive. Another 5. We can attach 1 Dawn to the bear to give up a Chopper 1000 power as well. Which is nice. I really like this card, man. Hiking Bear is so nice. Do that. And then that way we can go 7 with Chopper and 7 with Zoro. This way she's forced to give me the blocker on board. You don't have it. Let's go. Don't you lie to me. One more? We got an X-Drake and a Borsalino. Oh, that's crazy. I guess she mathed wrong, I'm assuming. Can we get there? Let's see if she would have mathed right what she got out of this. No, she had no counter in hand. So, good game, well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, rapid fire. And with a hand like this, I couldn't say no. We get 3 Namis in the opener. We actually get the Zoro off that as well, which is pretty huge. There's a first search. They got themselves Sasaki. 2 searches. 4K counter, alright. You're cool. Interesting. Let's go 5. Ideally, we could go 5 and then play Zoro and go 5 again. Or I can just run the Don on Nami and go 5. But I think I want to get down to Zoro here and just swing again, because we know he has at least 4K counter in hand due to those searches. So there's 1 Robin. Can I get a 2K? No, okay. Really? Yeah, that sucks. Onigashima, which allows him to ramp 1 Don every turn. This turn can be pretty big, as we're at 5. Nami goes to 3. Let's go 6 first. Actually, let's get down Brook. We'll do Brook thing, give the Don over here, and we'll just go 2 big swings here. Do 5. Bro, chill. Goodness. Let's just do this instead. Let's see if I can force another hit. This way he gives me the 2 2Ks. Nice. Okay, so we know he has 1 more Sasaki in hand. That's a 2K counter. So we know at least 1 of the 3. There's a Queen. He has 1 2K. And the other 2 are a mystery. Jack is so good. Let's do this. Play it on Hiking Bear. He's at 2 life. Go 5. So there's the other 2K. And that would just go 8. Or 7, sorry. Are we cooking? Another Ice Age. Bro, I don't get it. It be what it be. How does he get so lucky? So there's a Big Mom for the Big Mom. He heals 1. He probably is going to remove the Kid and Killer. And then Jack will kill the other one. Yep. So he gets to do that to draw with King's ability. Yep, you got it. It's looking dire, boys. It's looking dire. Those double Ice Ages really hurt me a little bit. But I think we'll be fine. Got 8, 6, 7. We could do this way first. We have 2 opportunities of going 7Ks with Kid and Killer and Zoro here. Let's go 6. I think we have to do this. Okay, so we have the 2K. This would put in the 0. Or we can just get a bunch of bodies on board instead. Let's get bodies on board. Let's do that instead. This way we have an opportunity at least having one thing survive instead of him popping the Kid and Killer then killing the Zoro with like a Lin and Jack. So we can do Zoro on board, or I can get down to Komochiyo and another Nami. Get the search off. Grabs me a chopper. We'll get this on board as well. I know it's weird because now we have Dawn floating over, but we gained access to 3 bodies. Which Jack can pop 1. They can run Lin into Zoro, and then potentially if he has another Lin, he can pop the Nami. So I guess either way we have an opportunity of having at least 1 body on board at the end of the turn. Because that's 1 down. There's a blocker. Okay. You know, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that at all. Because we can still get around at least to 1 blocker, though, right? with Kid Killer and Zoro. 5 here. I will counter out. Well, there's no point, actually. He's going to run Lin into it regardless. And we don't play with triggers here, so it's not really, doesn't really matter there. So blocker Sanji and Shiki we have to pass by now. Which I think we can do it. Because now we're at 10. Nami's are swinging for 3Ks right now. We're going to do 5 and 5. That was the easy one. We still have 4 Don left. Yep. Go 7. And Kid Killer. Nice. Good game, buddy. Normally, I wouldn't feature this, but I figure that Sanji's coming out here relatively soon. It's going to be another very hype deck to play. Very aggro-based, so this will be pretty interesting. I'm not really sure what to expect, because I know a lot of these decks are often different. They can run a lot of cards, so we'll see what goes on here. I'd imagine he's probably running a more of a, like, 8 cost, 6 cost, you know, the bigger bodies, whereas Zoro has a lot of stuff I can stick on board and just go face. I think both of these decks have access to some pretty aggressive cards, but we'll see. Shiraya. Alright, that's something I didn't want to deal with. That's cool. That's fine. Now hopefully he doesn't have Fire Fist in this deck. That'd be awesome. Brook will allow me to get the boost to Nami with 1 Don attached to Zoro, allowing her to swing. Let's get Makino down. Makino can boost either or. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Let's do this first. I'll end up swinging with Zoro last, probably. It's a lot of attacks already, guys. Like, we get 3 hits off this early on turn 2 is kind of crazy. Alright, Sanji, come on. What are you doing? We have things to do today. 1K. We'll go 6. I said we would swing last, but I think I have to attack with Zoro here just because if he blocks the Shiraya, Shiraya becomes a 6K, and then Komichio can hopefully hit over it. But that's fine. Why don't you take this one for me? Thank you. Cool. No trigger, please. Does he run with jet pistols? What is that? Okay, Luffy. That's not bad. Alright, interesting. So surely he clears 2 cards here. Like Shiraya attacks and we kill the Makino. And then Sanji kills... Okay, never mind. I'm completely wrong. Alright. Goes 5 here. I could counter out. But I don't think there's a point. We'll be able to replace him with ease, to be honest, with the Brook. And the Komichio if we choose to. Ooh, the Beppo. You'd love to see it, actually. Beppo's pretty strong here, wouldn't he be? Because he gains Rush with Sanji's ability. And then he'll attack me with Beppo and then kill the Nami for free. That's pretty strong, man. That is pretty strong. Yep. So that also enables Sanji to... Wait, what? Oh, we didn't have the Dawn. My bad. Math is hard. Well, that also enables Sanji to kill, like, the small searchers, like Baby 5 and, like, the Bonnies and Momos and stuff with Beppo, which is kind of cool. I like that. We'll kill this first. Surely we'll kill this first. Thank you. Kid Killer down. This is kind of a weird play, but I'm going to try to run Kid Killer into the Shiraya here if we're able to get it. He is a 5, so... But this might be one of our only chances to pop this guy. Alright, you're cool. I mean, you got it. Ain't much else I can do about it. So he does run Yasop. which is a 6k 8, which is very, very scary. Or sorry, a 6-drop 8k, which is pretty scary. He's got 6 Dawn left. So we get a Yasop on board. Yep, you can have it. So I don't have enough counter here. I mean, I do. We can go to 9k, but then I don't have a hand. There's no way I'm swinging over Yasop for 8 with the Shiraya on board. Alright. Chopper, please? I mean, I guess Hiking Bear it is what it is. Hopefully that'll be a pseudo blocker for next turn. Let's get down the Nami. Not bad, but I'd rather have the Chopper here, that way you can play Chopper and the Komoshio. Look at that, guys. I played 4 Dawn worth of cards. Right? Math? No, my bad. That's not math at all. 11 Dawn. That is crazy. Worth of bodies on board. On turn 5. Alright, he goes 5 into Hiking Bear. He's got it. I can't really counter out here. That's 1 body down. As long as he doesn't run Fire Fist, we should be chilling. There's a Chopper. I'd imagine another big body hits the board here, which Sanji can give Rush to. Yep. So Shanks is hitting for 10k. You got it. That's actually pretty useful. Because eventually, next turn when we smack everything into him, he has the ability to clear board. And I think we'll need the events to just replenish the bodies. We'll do this first. We need to get him down to 2 life for Kid and Killer to be viable here. 2k. Chopper swings in for 7 with 1 Adon attached. It's better to do it this way. I mean, we get the bear, so that's fine. Potentially a pseudo blocker or another body to have on board if he doesn't attack into it. Takes the hit. Cool. No trigger, please. Just let my bodies live. Okay, let's do... I want to have enough Dawn for the Chopper blocker, at the very least. If we can't go for game, if he has some way of countering out of all of these swings, and we can't go for game, I need to have at least 1 blocker on board to be safe. Because we have at least 1 2k in hands, with the potential of digging for more Chopper blockers. So I think we've only seen 1 all game, which is nice. So that's 5. This leaves me enough for a blocker and 2 events. Nice. Okay, so he's at 1 life. We could put in the Zoro with Kid and Killer. Could go about... No, actually we can't because he has Shiraya on board. Let's get down the blocker then instead. Replacing the Nami is probably the best idea because Bear can give something 1,000 power. We'll pass turn. So we have 1 blocker. He has 3 attacks at that point. Which potentially he could still win the game, right? Because he has to invest on. I don't have enough in hand to counter any of that, so potentially he still has game here. This I'll counter out with 2k. Let's grab... None of these really are really useful here, actually. We'll get this on board. Do another one, another blocker. That's really, really good. Yep. Now we still either have to counter here or take the hit. I think it's better just to give the 2k just in case he does have like Diable Jambe. Go 6. I can technically only take 1 hit here. Because if he has another rusher, we're in trouble. Okay, that's fine. Now we win the game no matter what. Unless he's got Zoro or Kid and Killer in hand. This has to be blocked. Just in case Diable Jambe. Imagine Zoro and Diable in hand. Or double Zoros here. I don't think he can win the game, actually. Yeah, because he only has 8 Dawn. I don't think he can. Another Shanks. Sure. I believe that's game over, right? 2 cards. Let's go 7. My chopper can swing for 7 here as well. That's so scary, by the way. Being a 3-drop with 5k that goes up to a 7 with 1 Dawn investment is pretty spooky. Let's go 6. We don't have to do anything because he has no cards in hand. We'll play another blocker down. 1 damage. Oh, okay, cool. We got there, boys. We did it. Good game, buddy. Yep. And GG. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably do one more game after this one. Then I want to dive into another deck list here for OP08. In any case, we're playing Zoro today into Charlotte Pudding, which I am very excited to play in OP08. So I can't wait for that one. Be mindful, I do have a new playmat being designed for me for Pudding. So stay tuned. I can't wait to reveal that to everybody around here. Now, in any case, we're going to go ahead and get as many bodies as we possibly can on the board with this matchup, due to the fact that Pudding struggles against aggro decks, definitely. And that should be a given, being yellow in nature, you know. But Pudding really wants to ramp up in the early game, so playing things down like Katakuri, Bond Clay, just to be able to see 10-drop Linlin on turn 4. That's as fast as she can go. So, if any way, shape, or form we can disrupt that curve, we can just win the game. Not every time, but most of the time. Because there are some lists that will run Ace, which helps them kind of sustain a little bit. But often not, I think Zoro here has the, it's in his favor. We had to guard that, by the way. I needed to keep these bodies on board. We'll run the Nami into the Pudding, just to get the body off the board here. If they want to counter out, that's fine. Alright, cool. Go here. That's not bad. He can't play any other animals from my hand, but we at least get another body down, which is nice. I don't have anything. Okay. That's fine. I don't mind swinging with everything here, because one's a Pudding and one's another Search. I'd imagine they want to take these hits. Okay. Let's play Zoro down. Save the last Dawn for the event. Turn 3, by the way. And we have a full board, which is kind of crazy. You can clear anything you want. Go ahead, I'll let you. Don't have the counter, but yeah, that's fine. Sure. Play our event first. Actually, we'll take a chopper. It doesn't really matter how you do this. This card's going to die anyway, but we play the event. We'll remove that chopper as a target just to get the other chopper on board. Big Mom will trash life. And now we know what's left in Pudding's life over there with the Big Mom and another event. So we have nothing to worry about. We just have to do math and make sure we can get out of this with 5 cards that she has in her hand here. Knowing Big Mom's not a counter, we can start off strong with 7. No reason for me to play any of those down. Yep. We have 7 here, 7 with the other chopper, and then we have to don up the Nami. We got really good cards in both of those chopper hits, by the way. Normally I would take them, but I think in this scenario, like, we can go for game. So, you know, sometimes those pudding matches, they really be like that. Zoro is just very, very aggressive, and I do hope he can make an impact here in OP08 when all these other yellow decks start coming back into the format, being Katakuri. Anel's still going to be here, so Anel and then Pudding actually has a chance in the metagame now, more so than she did before due to RP law. So, Zoro should do quite well into these games. In any case, Katakuri really doesn't change all too much. He gains access to a bunch of new triggers and stuff in OP08, so that is something to be mindful of. You just kind of got to like play around what cards to attack with first, what cards to play on board. But this matchup is generally going to be the same. You swarm the board with bodies, overwhelm Katakuri, and just go face. They play a lot of 2K counters, and they often will pitch the 2K for a 5K swing, which is nice. That's fine. 4 Dawn to play what here? What do you play for 4? I'm missing something. Oh, I guess the new Nami, right? Oh, no, never mind. That's cool. Paro Sparrow. We go 6. Ooh, this is nice. We'll take this as well. I feel like Chopper always hits, by the way. It's very rare that I don't get to play a card off Chopper. A Brûlée for the first trigger, or the second trigger. Or second trigger. Second life. Rook can give a boost. It's probably a misplay here, because we have to attack with Bear first. Bear gives our Chopper 1000 extra power. Which means we can take the Dawn and attach it to the Chopper here and go 7. Or Zoro. You gotta guard one of these. I know your hand's getting pretty bad over there. Do you risk it? Oh, wow. Oh, his hand must be cooked. There ain't no way. Because that's 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, this man's struggling right now. I'll guard this out. 6 Dawn. Kadetsu would probably be pretty decent here. I don't think it would matter too much. Just gonna pick at his life, yep. Because Kadetsu can pop another body on board. Oh, Katakuri blocker, that's cool. Don't think that helps you here, but we'll see. We do have Diable Jambe to go over this. And I probably shouldn't have attached Dawn here, the Chopper. Should have just swung for 6. That way I could use that Dawn for someone else. There's no reason to play Hiking Bear here as much as I'd want him to. I need the Brook to be able to try to swing as well for 5. We can attach a Dawn to Hiking Bear to use Hiking Bear's ability to give 1000 to Chopper or Komochio here as well. Speaking of Nami, he does run that. That's nice to know. Let's swing here first. Come on, buddy. Block with Katakuri. What are you doing? Okay, alright. We'll take those. All these little swings, man. It just eats up so many cards in his hand. It's kind of crazy. We'll give the boost. Do you have it? Okay, so we get a Nami trigger. So he's going to pop the bear. Which is unfortunate, but I think we can still go for game unless he has a counter in hand here. Does he survive? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video in which today we played around with OP08 Zoro. I had a lot of fun with this list. I had a lot of fun with this leader. It's been a while since we actually got to dive in and play around with Zoro post bans, right? Now, again, he was around in OP05 quite a bit, Him, Sakazuki, Katakuri, and Nell, they were dominating the format until Law came in and got a bunch of his new cards, and a lot of other decks kind of fell out, which is unfortunate. But for those of you guys that are new around here, red was the most dominant color in the format for a very long time. And now we've seen a lot of changes. Newgate, Zoro, they're kind of not there anymore. But with the new structure decks that are coming out, Newgate will come back. He will be a threat again. With OP08, Zoro does have access to a bunch of new cards, indirectly buffing this deck. And along with RP Law going away, this has a chance of doing well again into the metagame. Because he has a lot of decks that come out or come back into OP08, which Zoro is very strong into, like Enel, Katakuri, just to name a couple. But in any case, this has been a list I've been cooking up here on the channel. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions are on this list, let alone if you're running something that's similar, or if you're looking to cook up one of the previous builds with Zoro, with like the Newgate variations, with Buggy and all that sort of thing. Let me know what you guys are running down in the comments below. Either way, this has been Pawseplays. Remember, boys and girls, hop in that Discord, come tell me I suck. It is what it is. Good luck at your treasure cups. Good luck at your OP08 pre-releases. I will be diving into Katakuri for my treasure cups, so I'm going to try my best. I know Law's still around here, but I'm very much enjoying this leader. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.